Hello, I'm Sarah. And I'm
Hey, relax with the mic there.
Hi there, I'm Sarah. I'm Tegan. We're from Calgary.
Oh, Sarah loves telling the story.
Calgary, Alberta, Canada, where the horses roam free, and so do Tegan and Sara. And we now live in Vancouver, Canada, and that's it. I think that it's because, well, to be quite honestly, like literally, why we started playing acoustic guitar was because our PA broke and my mom wouldn't fix it because she said we were annoying and she was tired of us playing so loud in our bedroom because we had like microphones and like speakers and everything set up in my room. I don't even think it was the volume of noise. I think it was just how bad it sounded. It was really bad.
We didn't own a tuner. Like,
it was bad.
Old PA that actually, like, they'd blown all the speakers, so they'd put radio, like, car speakers in and replace them, so it was this like shrill, it was really annoying.
Awful. Yeah, so we just started playing acoustic guitar because my mom refused to get it fixed.
We broke it in the summer, and then like for our birthday in September my mom's like, and we got you acoustic guitars, and we were like, oh, Mom. So that's why I think we play fairly basic. Like, I think where we started in music was power chords and loud, and like we get labeled as this like folk duo indigo girl thing all the time, and like we are not that. Like, if Sarah wants to be in like a boy punk rock band, and I don't want to play music, so I think there's a lot of angst on stage, and there's a lot of like tension.
We have to stop the interview right now. I'm gonna beat you down if you continue to talk so negatively. You're ruining my buzz.
How am I? You're lame. You've turned into a lame ass. I don't think that that's negative. I mean, that's what we are. Like, we are very punkish and loud, I think, on stage, and obnoxious, and I think that we moved to acoustic guitars because, to be honest with you, not because our PA broke. I mean, obviously it did. We could have gotten it fixed. I think it's just because we wanted to create better songs, and we did want to play together, and it's pretty hard when you have one acoustic guitar and one electric guitar to write songs together. So I think as soon as we started playing for people and there was just the two of us, we wanted to make it quieter anyway, and then we got like Sarah's boyfriend played drums for us, and like, you know, like all of a sudden we had this band and they were awful and our friends hated it. They were just like, oh, it sounds awful. And so we started recording stuff at school, and people just really reacted to the quieter, just us stuff a lot better. Like, we'd have these like gigs in the like garage and stuff, and people would be like, sounds awful. And like one time Sarah's boyfriend, like, he played guitar too, and he like pushed her out of the way and he started doing like this big guitar lick and shit.
Okay, that's enough. You back the microphone. That's quite enough. I think that our music already has begun to change. I think we want to be more accessible, and I think that a lot of people already from our independent album to this album, and I'm sure that they will again feel confrontational about the next jump, is that we do want to become more accessible and approachable, and I would like to be able to hit more audiences and become more radio friendly, and like, I think we have passion for what we do, and I think that we are credible, and I think that we hope to become that on the next record even more and find ourselves. But I think it's going to take us a good while to find out who we are and what we're doing, and I think that maybe that will either make us really appealing or really hard to understand, I think, on the next record. But I have no idea where we're going. We did one of our first Canadian tours. We were like 18. We just graduated high school, and we got a friend to drive us across Canada to play some shows. And we drove through a part of the States, and we were in like it was outback, like Michigan, like somewhere like where nobody really lives, except in movies. And we pulled into this little town, and we couldn't find a place to camp. We were camping, and so we went into this little bar or whatever.
Remember, we were already a little freaked out because we drove down that really long road, remember?
Yeah.
There was no lights, and all of a sudden these lights came.
That was the summer that the Blair Witch Project thing came out or whatever, and we had our video camera, like a homemade video camera. We hadn't seen it though yet. It hadn't come out just yet, but it was gonna. And so we had our little video camera, and we were videotaping, and we went into this bar, and there was all these people without teeth and stuff, and they were like, yeah, you can go camp. Just go down the road there and turn left, and then go up the hill, and you can just camp on the land there. And we're like, okay. So we get in the little vehicle, and we're videotaping and laughing, and we take a left, and we go through the bushes and the trees, and we pull out into this empty lot, and it was really, really big, and there was a house off to the left, sort of, and then there was these barns that were painted, like red and white striped, and there was motorcycles all in front of this house, and this guy came out, and we thought he had a shotgun, and we had the little camera on, and we were like, the videotape is so funny, it's all scattered and shaking, and we're like, turn the car around, and then we turned the car around, we like blew out of there, and we ended up.
manager, he's like this, like, he was like a wrestler and stuff, and so he was all big and macho, and he thought it would be funny if he, like, pretended the car wouldn't go anywhere, so he put it into neutral, and he's like, I can't go anywhere, and like, this person's coming off, and we look in front of us, and we just, like, I have it on camera, it's like this huge piece of plywood, and there's like chains and stuff, and there's like shackle things on it and stuff. It's like a beating board or something, and like he would not move the car, and we were like, oh my god, and like screaming and like completely flipped out, and he just like, we drove the rest of the night, and we ended up sleeping in the car, and when we woke up in the morning, I mean, we were still obviously like traumatized from the whole experience, and we wake up and Mike is gone, like our tour manager, like we have no idea, we're in the middle of nowhere, and we're like, where is Mike? And then we hear all this like noise on the roof, and then all of a sudden he comes like flipping over the front dash, like the car, and he had been sleeping in the roof rack. That's my story. What's a smaller tour? Yeah, that's a little bit different. You know, most of the time we're in a small, compact size vehicle, and usually we hang out in gross little dirty backstage rooms, and it's like a bar atmosphere, and it's just really different because the expectation is on you to fill a room, and the expectation is that you're going to get somewhere safe, and that you're going to sell merchandise, and that you're going to sell tickets, and that you're going to put on a great show. Whereas with the Neil Young thing, it was more like a learning experience. It was more about just getting out and playing and getting better in front of a large audience. And you're going to learn how to act around famous people.
You're going to learn how to get drunk on tour buses and get locked in bathrooms. Well, you know what's funny is that we toured like probably almost 2 years, and then we got the Neil Young thing and released the record and stuff, and it was like starting from scratch because you're going to these audiences and trying to sell yourself to these places and these people who have no interest in, like, we'd get emails where people were like, I thought you were just a CD playing and you guys were just roadies on stage, and like, you know, it was like, artistically it wasn't necessarily the most like gratifying experience, but emotionally and as an artist, to learn how to be on a stage that size and learn how to work an audience that size and learn how to be around industry and people and work straight for 5 weeks, I mean, that was really important. And then to move immediately, we had like 24 hours off after that tour and moved on to the Canadian tour, where we were playing our own shows, and we were selling out clubs, you know, and it was only maybe like 300 to 600 people or whatever, but it was like learning all over again. Like, I felt like we were inexperienced. Like, here I'd gotten this like knowledge. I was like, we can go through a whole set and we don't make any mistakes anymore. And then all of a sudden we had to like fill not 20 minutes but an hour and a half, and we had to make everyone happy, and people were traveling to see us play at different shows, so we had to be entertaining and tell different stories, and it was just a lot more work, but it's definitely a lot more, like, artistically I felt like we grew more, and as people I felt more satisfied at the end of the night, you know, because it is about you, and it's about how you approach your audience, and you get to learn so much. And being on a big tour, it's less about you, it's just about getting out of the way. I find it's like, stay out of the way, be quiet, just play your show and get out, and don't ask any questions, you know. And when it's your tour, you know, you get to do crack in the back room, and, you know, and strippers and stuff. And my mom always thinks that we talk about her too much, but if we're not talking about her, then she gets, because we're ignoring her, because we just moved like a year ago we moved out of her house, and we moved to a different province altogether, and so we only see her every couple of months, and we talk about her obsessively, though. I think it's a really safe, it goes back to this sort of thing, like, where are you going with your music? I think it's really important. I think if you look at bands that make it past that line, like into that sort of mainstream area, and I don't mean Britney Spears, I mean like just having a mass audience, I think it's because people can really relate, and we haven't figured out a way to have people relate to our lives, specifically about us, so we try to talk about our family a lot. So my mom is great to talk about, because everybody relates to mom stories, like, especially our audience. I don't know why, but our audience loves the mom stories, and we get more emails about our mom now than anything. And but my mom saw the live webcast, and she called us, and she was serious. She was like, stop talking about me. It's weird. Like, you need to stop already. Like, way too inappropriate. So, but she's great. Like, she's so weird. Like, she's going through this weird stage, and I just am fascinated by her. Like, she's found religion again, and she's like, she keeps telling her that she hasn't found religion. She has a friend of the family whose daughter is getting, I don't know what it is. It's not confirmation. It's when you're a little bit older. I don't know what it is anyway. And you need a mentor, and my mom is mentoring this girl.
I think it's really interesting. I mean, I'm not a religious person, but I feel fascinated by religion. I mean, something that has overwhelmed so many people and created so much hate and love at the same time, and there's so much. I mean, I think so is marijuana.